Hello students, so today we will do atomic structure question part 6. Disclaimer: the images used in our slide deck are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@itk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. So what are we going to do today? So we are going to practice questions from 46 to 53. Question number 46. Question number 46 says that the atomic numbers of elements X, Y, and Z are 19, 21, and 25, respectively. The number of electrons present in M shell of these elements follows the order. Option A: Z is greater than X is greater than Y. Option B: X is greater than Y is greater than Z. Option C: Z is greater than Y is greater than X. D: Y is greater than Z is greater than X. So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Okay, now let us see the solution. So first of all, what is the question? The question is saying that the atomic number for three elements which are say attributed as X, Y and Z is 19, 21 and 25. So you have to find the number of electrons which is present in the M shell of this element. Okay, the number of electrons present in the M shell of this electron, you have to follow the order. So which is the order for the number of electrons? The order for the number of electrons. So the answer is C. Z is greater than Y is greater than X. So how we will find it? So first of all, for X, the number of electron is found to be 19 total electrons since atomic number is 19. So the electronic configuration would be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s1. Now what is the M shell? So this is K shell, this is for L shell, this is for M shell. So M shell has 8 electrons. Similarly, if you write it for 21, then the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d1, 4s2. Again, this n for n is equals to 3. All electrons will go to the M shell. This is for K, L, M, and this is for N. Okay, so there are how many electrons in total? 6 plus 2 plus 1, that is 9 electrons in total for the M shell. Moving on to the Z1, which is having atomic number 25. So the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d5, 4s2. So for the M shell, we have how many electrons? We have 6 plus 2 plus 5, which is 13 electrons. So what will be the order now? So the number of electrons present in the M shell of these elements will follow the order of Z is greater than Y is greater than X, because Z has 13 electrons, Y has 9 electrons, and your X will have 8 electrons. So the largest number of electrons is in Z, which is 13. Then for Y it is 9, which is uh, the smaller than Z, and for X, which is the smallest, has a 8 electrons. This is the order. Okay. Now moving on to the next question. Question number 47. Question number 47 says that the uncertainties in the velocity of two particles A and B is given as 0.05 and 0.02 meter per second. So this is the uncertainty in the velocity respectively for A and B. The mass of B is 5 times to that of A. So the mass relation between these two is also given. It is given that if your mass is the mass of A, so sorry, the mass of B is 5 times to that of A. So what is the ratio of uncertainties in their position? That is del x A by del x B you have to find. Options are A 2, B 0.25, C 4 and D 1. So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Okay, now let us see the solution. So first of all, what is the question? So the question has two informations. First of all, their velocities are mentioned, uncertainty in velocity is mentioned, and their mass, the relation between the mass is mentioned. So suppose your mass of A is x, then your mass of B will be 2x. As simple as that. Sorry, 5x. Now you have to find the uncertainty in the positions. So what will the correct answer? The correct answer will be A. And how we'll solve it? So for that, you have to apply the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, whose mathematical equation is del x dot del p is equals to h by 4 pi. Now, p is momentum, which is nothing but m multiplied by v. So that will be delta mv. And since mass is known with 100% accuracy, so we have taken this out of delta, as there is no uncertainty in the calculation of mass. The formula becomes delta x dot m delta v is equals to h by 4 pi. Now for two particles A and B, if you take the ratio, that is, if you take it for A, it will be delta x A m delta v b is equals to h by 4 pi. Okay, and for B, it will be delta x b m delta v b is equals to h by 4 pi. Now if you divide both of this, then h by 4 pi will get cancelled out, and you will get it at this equation. Okay, delta x A delta x v A delta x b by delta x vb, which is equals to mb by ma. Clear? We cross multiply it and you will get this equation. Very easy to get. Next, values are given. Okay, so since this ratio is already given 5, so we have put here 5, and your velocity uncertainty is mentioned. For that va it is 0.05 and for b it is 0.02. Now solving this simple equation, you will get the value as 2 is to 1. So this is the uncertainty in the what? Uncertainty in the position of A and B. The ratio of uncertainty in the position of A and B. 2 is to 1. Okay. Now moving on to the next question. Question number 48. Question number 48 says that I2 molecule dissociates into atoms after the adsorption of light of 4500 angstrom. If one quantum number of energy is absorbed by each molecule, kinetic energy of iodine atom will be bond energy of I2 is given as 240 kilojoule per mole. Your options are A 240 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule, B 0.216 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule, C 2.16 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule, and D 2.40 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Now let us see the solution. So first of all, what you have to find? So it is said that your I2 molecule dissociates into atom, that is I, upon adsorption of this much wavelength light, right? Now if one quantum of energy is absorbed by each molecule, so it is said that one quantum of energy is being absorbed by each molecule, then what is the kinetic energy of iodine atom given your bond dissociation energy for I2, or your bond energy for I2, which is 240 kilojoule per mole? The correct option is B, 0.216 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. Now what is the light that has been radiated on say I2 molecule? What will be the energy? It will be hc by lambda. Your lambda value is given. So if we put this value here, so lambda is 4500 angstrom, which is 4500 into 10 to the power minus 10 angstrom. H value will be 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34, and your C value will be 3 into 10 to the power 8. Upon calculation, we will get this as 4.4 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. So this is the energy that is required. Sorry, this is the energy of the radiation that has been exposed, means that has been radiated upon your I2 molecule. Now what is the energy that is required to break up I2 molecule? So since this energy is given as 240 kilojoule per mole, which is for 1 mole, but we are considering one molecule. So first of all, we'll convert this into joule by multiplying it by 10 to the power 3 and divide it by Na. because for Na molecules it is given, therefore for one molecule it will be the given energy by Na. Now upon again calculation, we will get the energy that is required to break one I2 molecule, which is 3.984 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. Okay, so what will be the energy, means kinetic energy of the iodine atom? Very simple, the energy which you have supplied and the energy which is required to break the bond. The rest of the energy will be imparted to the iodine molecule as the kinetic energy. So we'll just subtract this 4.4 into 10 to the power minus 19 minus 3.984 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. So we have done this, okay, taking this thing common. Next, this energy comes out to be 240 into 10 to the power 3 joule per mole. Okay, okay, sorry, no, this is given here. So this thing is being calculated. Okay, this thing is being calculated. Now you have to calculate it for each iodine atom. So this much energy is being extra. Okay, this is the extra energy that is being supplied. Now this energy will be distributed among the two iodine atom which are having same energy. So they, for that reason, they each of this will receive the same energy. So divide this thing by 2 and that will give you 0.216 into 10 to the power minus 19. So this is the energy of I2 molecule, and for each atom, this is the energy that is gained by the I2 molecule, means both the atom, energy gained by both the atoms. Now you have to find it for the individual atom, so you divide simply the value by 2, that will give you 0.216 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. Okay, clear? Now moving on to the next question. Question number 49. Question number 49 says that in Bohr's model of atom, when an electron in H atom jumps from n is equals to 1 to n is equals to 3, how much energy will be emitted or absorbed? Okay, your options are A, 2.15 into 10 to the power minus 11 ERG per atom, B, 1.936 into 10 to the power minus 11 ERG per atom, C, 2.389 into 10 to the power minus 12 ERG per atom, and D, 0.239 into 10 to the power minus 10 ERG per atom. Okay, so you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Now let us see the solution. So the question says that you are doing a transition. Okay, you are going from n is equals to 1 and to n is equals to 3. You have to see that how much energy will be emitted or absorbed. So you have to decide that it will be emitted or absorbed depending upon the energy value that we will get, whether it is negative or positive. And what is the magnitude of that energy? So the energy that will be exchanged is 1.936 into 10 to the power minus 11 ERG per atom, which is option number B. How we will find it? So we will simply subtract the energy of 3 minus energy of 1, because this is the energy that will be required to do the transition. Okay, so the amount of energy required for an electron to excite it from n is equals to 1 is n is equals to 3 is simply E3 minus E1, energy of third minus energy of first. Now according to Bohr's model, we know that energy calculation is done by this formula, which is minus 13.6 electron volt per atom by n square, where n square is what? It is the orbit number. Okay, it is the orbit number. So if you calculate delta E, so the energy of third will be minus 3.16 by 3 square minus, in the bracket, minus 13.6 by 1 square. If you just do this for calculation further, this negative will turns to be positive, and if you just cross multiply this and do the calculation, you will get the value as 108.8 by 9 electron volt per atom, or 12.08 electron volt per atom. Now if you convert this thing into ERG per atom, then it will be multiplied by 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 12, which is 19.36 into 10 to the power minus 12, or 1.936 into 10 to the power minus 11 ERG per atom. Okay, so this is your correct answer. Now moving on to the next question. Question number 50. Question number 50 says that the total mass of neutron in 7 mg of C14 assume the mass of neutron is 1.675 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg is options are 1.25 into 10 to the power minus 9, option B 2.40 into 10 to the power minus 8, option C 4.03 into 10 to the power minus 6, and option D 5.36 into 10 to the power minus 7. So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. You can solve it now. Now let us see the solution. So first of all, what is the question? So you have to find that if we are given a sample of 7 mg of C14 element, that is your carbon 14 element, then what is the mass of that is due to neutron, and given that the mass of one neutron is 1.675 is 10 to the power minus 27 kg. So the correct answer is C, which is 4.03 into 10 to the power minus 6. How will solve it? So for that you have to find the number of neutrons in the 7 mg of C14. Okay. Okay. Now what is the mass of 1 mole of C14? It is 14 gram, which is having 6.022 into 10 to the power minus plus 23 carbon atom. That is equals to Avogadro number. So if you talk about one carbon atom, then what is the number of neutron? So it will be simply mass number minus atomic number, because mass number is neutron plus proton and atomic number is electron. Sorry, number of proton. So if you just subtract both of this, that is 14 minus 6, so because for C14 your mass number will be 14, and since it is isotope, atomic number will remain same, that is 6. So it will give you 8 neutrons in total. Now if you talk about 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 atom, then it will contain this much number of neutrons multiplied by 8. Okay, so 14 gram will contain how much? So 14 grams here will contain how much? This much only, because 14 gram has this much n number of atoms. Therefore, and each atom has 8 neutrons. Therefore, 14 gram atoms will contain this much number of neutrons. If you want to calculate it for 1 gram, then you will divide this whole thing by 14. And if you want to calculate it for 7 milligrams, you will first convert this into milligram by multiplying 10 to the power minus 3 and multiplying this whole value into the mass of neutron in one atom. Okay, so for for 1 gram, then for this much gram it will multiplied by whole. We just calculate this, you will get this as 24.092 into 10 to the power 20 neutrons. So this much neutron that you will get, or writing it in a more scientific manner, it will give you 2.4092 into 10 to the power 22 neutrons. So you have calculated the number of neutrons, but what was your goal? Your goal was to calculate the mass of neutron, total mass of neutron, and not the number of neutrons. So how will calculate it? By using this value, that mass of a neutron is given. So 1 neutron mass is given 1.675 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. So mass of this much number of neutrons will be simply the multiplication of these two. Okay, these two will multiplied. That will give you 4.0354 into 10 to the power minus 6 kg. Okay, so this is your answer. Moving on to the next question. Question number 51. Question number 51 says that the frequency of light emitted for the transition n is equals to 4 to n is equals to 2 of helium plus is equals to transition in hydrogen atom corresponding to which of the following? Your options are n is equals to 3 to n is equals to 1. Option B, n is equals to 2 to n is equals to 1. Option C, n is equals to 3 to n is equals to 2. Option D, n is equals to 4 to n is equals to 3. So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Okay, now let us see the solution. So first of all, what is the question? The question says that you have to find that which transition among the following which have the will have the same frequency as the transition which is starting from n is equals to 4 to n is equals to 2 for helium plus atom. Okay, so the correct option is n is equals to 2. So if the electron goes from 2 to 1, then it will have the same energy as that of from 4 to 2 for helium plus. Okay, so What's the frequency formula? It's CRH Z square 1 by NV square minus 1 by N2 square, where RH can be written as R. Now for helium plus atom, Z value is 2, N1 value is 2, N2 value is 4. So N1 is the initial, N2 is the final. So if you substitute all of this, so Z, that means 2 square, 1 by 2 square minus 1 by 4 square, that will give you your new value as 4R 3 by 16. So this is your frequency. Okay, this is a frequency. Or you can further simplify it to 3R by 4. So this is the energy that is for the transition 2 to 4. Now next, if you want to calculate the see the transition which has the same energy of this, so for that, let us take the case of hydrogen. For the hydrogen, Z value is 1. Okay, so what was the answer? It was N to 2 to N to 1. Okay, so you will just use those same value, and hence here it is written same. That will give you, again putting, okay, we have put this thing also like the previous one, and you got 3R by 4. So the correct option is, if you do a transition from N to 2 to N to 4, N to 1, then you will get the same frequency for hydrogen atom as we got it for helium atom, where the transition was from N is equals to 4 to N is equals to 2. Now moving on to next question. Question number 52. Question number 52 says that to move an electron in one hydrogen atom from the ground state to the second excited state is 12.084 electron volt. How much energy is needed to cause 1 mole of hydrogen atom to undergo this transition? Okay. Options are A 728 kilojoule per mole, option B 984 kilojoule per mole, option C 1036 kilojoule per mole, and option D 1164 kilojoule per mole. How will solve it? So before that, you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Okay, now let us see the solution. So what is the question? The question is saying that your second excited energy means if you are going from the ground state to the second excited state, your energy is given. This much energy is required. Now, how much energy is required for 1 mole? You have to calculate for 1 mole. The correct option is 1164 kilojoule per mole. That is the D option. So delta E is given 12.084 electron volt. You will convert this into what? Into joule. Okay, so this is given for one atom. So if you calculate for into joule, you will simply multiply it by 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19, which is charge on electron. So this will be the energy required in joule for per atom. Now for 1 mole, we will multiply the same value by 6.02 into 10 to the power 23. Now the value that will come will be your answer, which is simply 1164 kilojoule per mole. So this is your correct answer. Moving on to the next question, question number 53. Question number 53 says that which of the following statement in relation to the hydrogen atom is correct? Options are A, 3s, 3p and 3d orbital all have the same energy. Option B, 3s and 3p orbital are of lower energy than 3d orbital. Option C, 3p orbital is lower in energy than 3d orbital. And option D, 3s orbital is lower than in energy than 3p orbital. So you have 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time starts now. Okay, now let us see the solution. So what is the question? That you have to find the correct statement. So the correct statement is that 3s, 3p and 3d all have the same energy in the hydrogen atom. Why? Because there is no electron, and until and unless there is no electron, their energy will remain same. So this is very important point to remember. So if you are considering the hydrogen atom, then 1s is occupying energy, so it will have the least energy because the interaction between the electron and proton is attractive one, and that will decrease the energy of 1s. Excluding this, if you are considering the same orbital in a shell, then all of the orbital subshell or orbital will have the same energy in a given shell. So therefore 2s 2p will have same energy, 3s 3p 3d will have same energy, and 4s 4p 4d 4f we have same energy. Now this types of questions are very common, and if not this type, then corresponding to this type will is also obvious, right? So just keep this in mind. So therefore the energy of all these three will be same in case of hydrogen atom. So with this we have completed all the questions. Thank you.